Jasmine ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay, let's start today's topic, threaded binary tree. Okay, so first let us see the introduction about this threaded binary tree. What is the importance of this threaded binary tree? How we are going to travel this threaded binary tree? Okay, so before entering into this threaded binary tree, let us first see the traversal of your binary search tree. Okay, so last class we discussed about all the operations of your binary search tree, but we left that is a traversal of your binary search tree. Okay, so already we discussed general traversal of your binary tree, that is in order traversal, pre-order traversal, and post-order traversal. Let us see what happens in your binary search tree. Okay, and what is the hints you can take it from your binary search tree. Okay, by doing this one. So already you know how to create a binary search tree, isn't it? So let us consider this example. You have these data. So using this information, you are going to construct a binary search tree. So how will you construct a binary search tree? Means first you will take your first number or first data, and you're going to mark that one as your root node, isn't it? I hope you are parallelly you are doing this problem in your notebook. Okay, so try to do this one parallelly. And next data is 10, so it is less than that of your root element 43, so you are going to mark it on your left side. Okay, 10. And next one is 79, it is greater, so you are going to mark it and that your right side. Okay, so already we discussed this topic, so I'm going to move it in a faster manner. Okay, so at 90, you're going to place it on your right side of your 79 because this is a greater element. And 12, so 12 is less than that of your 43, and after that it is greater than that of your 10, so I'm going to mark it as your right side of your 10, 12 over here. And 54, it is greater than that of your 43, but it is less than that of your 79, so I'm going to mark it as a right side of your 79. So here you have to mark it as 54. Next one is 11, so it should be marked on your left side of your 10. Okay, and last one is 9, so 9, so 11 is greater than that of your 10, isn't it? So it is greater than that of your 10, but it is less than that of your 12. So I'm going to mark it on your students. If I make any mistake, please tell me immediately. Okay. So next one is 9. So 9 is less than that of your 10. So that should be marked on your left side of this one. Next one is 50. So 50 is greater than that of your 43. So it is should be traversed on your right side. So it has a 79. So 50 is less than that of your 79. So you have to traverse on your left side. So if you take this 54, 54 is greater than that of your 50. Therefore, you have to mark it on your left side. Okay. So this is how you have to construct your binary search tree, isn't it? So after constructing your binary search tree, okay, so what happens means, so last class, I think Venkatraman asked one doubt, okay, how will you perform a traversal with the help of your element or with the help of your address? Obviously, you have to traverse along with the help of your address only, but you have to go left or right, depends upon the element which is present in your node. Okay, so actually if you take your node, if you take any node in your binary search tree, you have a 3 fields. Okay, so one is your data field, other one is your left address field, and the other one is your right address field, isn't it? So when you're in your current node means, so you will compare your value with your current node. But if you want to travel along a left subtree or right subtree, you will compare using with your data. But when you want to go to your left subtree means, you with the help of your left node address only you can go to your left subtree, isn't it? And if I want to travel along a right subtree means, with the help of your right child address only, I can visit your right subtree. So in order to travel along your left side or right side, in order to do traversal, I use the pointer address. But if I want to go for your comparison, I use the data. Okay, so that is the use of the fields. Okay, so left child, data, and one more is right. Okay, so this is how you have to do the traversal. So any doubt till this one? Can you follow this construction of your binary search tree? So construction
Yes,
of your
ma'am.
binary search tree. Oh, okay, ma'am. So this is the binary search tree, construction of your binary search tree. So let's see this one. So how we can perform a in-order traversal, post-order, pre-order traversal, and post-order traversal. Okay. So first, let us do the in-order traversal first. So in-order traversal means what you will do. First, you have to see from your current node, that is 43. You have to go to your left subtree till you reach your that is a null point, that is a null value in your left child. You have to perform your left traversal, isn't it? So what happens here? So first one 43, you are in a current node 43. So next one is 10. Okay, so it is not a null. Again, you travel along your left subtree. So how we are doing this traversal? Using the left child address, isn't it? So here, when you reach this 9 node, what happens? Here, left child node happens to be null. So here you get a termination, isn't it? So if it is a null means, then you mark this as your current node and you are going to print that element, isn't it? So you are going to print this element 9. So when if this one is over means, what is the rule to be followed in your in-order traversal? So in-order traversal is, first you have to go for a left subtree. Next you have to go to your root node. I'm going to mark it as C. Next one you have to visit your right subtree, isn't it? So when your left child is over, left subtree is over means, then you have to go to your root or your current element. Then you have to, that is parent node. Next you have to go to your right subtree. So when if your left is, that is if you don't have your left means, I am going to print your root element, that is your 9. So for this 9, after printing the root element, you don't have your right side, isn't it? Therefore, again, you have to go to your root element of this 9. What is the root element of this 9? That is 10. So I'm going to visit this 10. Okay. So next, after completing this 10, I have to move, that is the left side of the 10 is over. Root is also over. That is the parent node is over. Next, you have to visit to your right side. So when I go to your right side, what happens? This is my parent node. Okay. So when I can visit this parent node after completing your left subtree. Okay. So I have a left child is 11. So first I have to complete this 11. Next, after completing this 11 only, I have to visit this 12. Can you follow? Visiting is printing. Okay. So after this 11 only, I have to print this 12. So after this 11, I'm going to print the 12. Okay. So after printing this 12, what happens? The whole part gets over. Okay. That is a left subtree of this root element gets over. All the elements are printed. Now I can print the root element 43, because when this left side is over means, then I can go to your root element 43. So now I'm going to print the root element 43. Okay. So next one, if this root is over means, then I can visit the right subtree, isn't it? Now I'm going to take this parent node 79. Now I should not print this 79, because after completing the left subtree of your 79 only, I should print the 79, isn't it? So I'm going to travel the left subtree. So here I am not getting this null. Okay, this is not the end. So I go for a traversal this side. So when I go for the traversal after this 49, what happens? I get the null child, isn't it? Therefore, I'm going to print this 50. So after this 43, I'm printing this 50. Okay. So after printing this 50, if it is over, I don't have any element on the right side. Therefore, I can, sorry, after this 50, I can print this 54. Okay. So after this 54, can you follow this one, ma? 54, after 15, which element should be printed? So after 50, 54, after 54, I have to print which element? Anyone? After 54?
79, ma'am.
Yes, 79. I have to print 79. After 79, have to print
90,
90.
ma'am.
90.
Okay, now all the elements in your binary search tree are printed. Now, from this result, can you tell me, can you guess what happens here? Any inference from this result of your in-order traversal? What happens here, in-order traversal? How we are getting your result?
Ascending order.
Yes,
to
you are getting
small
your result in your ascending order, isn't it? Always remember that when you perform a in-order traversal, okay, in your binary search tree, okay, you will get your result in your ascending order, okay. So by doing this way, you can say that your constructed your binary search tree is correct, okay. So when you perform a in-order traversal in your binary search tree, okay, you will get your result in your ascending order. So this happens in your in-order traversal. So next, let us go for a pre-order traversal. So what happens in your pre-order traversal? So pre-order traversal, you have to give your preference to your root. Yes, you have to give preference to your root. So that is, first you have to print your parent first, isn't it? So parent means first one is 43. Okay, I'm not going to write it over here. Please, you note that one in your notebook. Okay, so first you'll be printing your 43. Next one is that is, after this 43, you are going to print this 10. Okay, so after that you are going to print this 9. Next one is 12. Next one is 11. Next is 79. Okay, 54, 50, and 90. Okay, you check this answer whether you're getting this answer or not. Okay, so this one will be your pre-order traversal. So pre-order traversal, first you'll be printing your root element. So next you have to give your preference to your left. Next you have to preference to your right. Okay, and this happens in your binary search tree traversal, pre-order traversal. Similar for your post-order traversal, you give preference to your root at the last. That is, first you are going to do left. Next one is you have to complete your right subtree. When all the thing is over, only you have to give preference to your root element. So at last only you are going to print your root. So if you take your post-order traversal, so at last only, that is the last element will be your 43. Okay. And if you take your pre-order traversal, you will get your first element as your 43. So this is the difference between your pre-order traversal and post-order traversal. So complete these two, pre-order traversal and post-order traversal, in your notebook. Okay. So I will post the PPT in your Google Classroom, and you can verify your answer over there. Okay. So next one, let us see the binary, that is a threaded binary tree. What is mean by threaded binary tree? So be ready with your threaded binary tree. Let us enter into this threaded binary tree concept. So what is my threaded binary tree means? If you take your binary tree, okay, or your binary search tree. So if you have your leaf node, what happens means all the leaf node, or if you have a one child node, means definitely the left child of that leaf node or right child of your leaf node will be marked as a null, pointed like this, isn't it? So it is a pointed like this. Can you see this one? So you have a null pointer is filled over this one. It means that after that you don't have any child or branches. Okay, so this denote this is the leaf node and you don't have any branches. But what happens means when you use your null over there, means what happens means they feel that when you do any traversal, it takes more time. Okay, that is, you have to check whether you have a null or not. Then you have to go backtrack to your parent node again. That from your parent node again you keep doing your traversal. Okay, that is, your backtracking is happens in your normal binary tree or binary traversal tree, which takes more time to do that one. Okay, so in order to avoid that one, in order to speed up your traversal, they introduced one topic, we call it as a threaded binary tree. Threaded means they use one thread. Okay, using that thread you can make your traversal more faster. So the red line denotes your threads. Okay, so in this diagram you can see the threads, isn't it? Red, that is your red arrow. So red arrow, it's nothing but your threads over here. So instead of pointing your that is your last node, that is a leaf node or a null, I'm going to mark it as a thread. Okay, so how we are going to fill that thread means you are going to take the parent address and you are going to fill it over there. Okay, so let's see that how we are going to fill the parent address. Okay, so how we are going to fill the parent address means first you are going to take the in order successor. Okay, so after taking the in order successor, you are going to fill the address over there. So that address we call it as a thread. Okay, so I will explain that one in your next section. So time being, you remember that. So in order to do your traversal faster, we introduced the thread concepts in your binary tree. So that we call it as a threaded binary tree. Okay, can you follow this one? So in order to do your traversal faster, in your data structure, they introduced your thread concept over here in your binary tree. So that we call it as a threaded binary tree. When the threaded is introduced in both the left and right, we call it as a double-ended threaded binary tree or two-way threaded binary tree. Okay, so next let us see what are the two types of threaded binary tree. Okay, so there are the two types of threaded binary tree. One is a one-way threaded binary tree, other one is a two-way threaded binary tree. So as the name says, one-way threaded binary tree means when you're having only threaded on a one side, either on the left side or on the right side means, then we call it as a one-way threaded binary tree. See here in your in this example. Okay, so in this example, I have only the one side. Okay, in your previous example as well as in this current example. So here you don't have any null. Instead of null, I had a thread in which it points to the parent. Okay, so this type we call it as a one-way threaded binary tree. And a two-way threaded binary tree means both the left child and right child contains a threads means, then we call it as a two-way threaded, that is a two-way threaded binary tree. So for this example, here you have both the sides. So here also you have a thread and here also you have a thread. When you have threads happens to be there in your both the child left or right, then we call it as a two-way threaded binary tree. Okay, so let's see this one. Let us see this one, how we are going to construct a threaded binary tree. I'm simply saying that this is the marked to your parent node, isn't it? Let's see how we are going to construct a threaded binary tree. It's very simple. So first one, you have to see the tree, binary tree. Okay, so from your binary tree, you have to write your in order traversal first. Okay, so when you write this in order traversal first, what will happen? From A, you have to go to your B. Then from B, you will have a D, isn't it? So first, you have to take your D. So for D, next one, what you will visit, the after D, you have to go to your B. So B, you have to take, isn't it? So after this B, you have to visit E. Next one, after E, what happens? You have to visit A. So I'm performing in order traversal for this binary tree. So after A, you'll be getting C. Sorry, after A, you'll be getting F. So after F, you'll be getting C. Next one, G. So this is nothing but your in order traversal in your binary tree. So from this one, what you have to do means, so you have to take the in order successor. Okay, so if I want to fill the that is here you have a null. Actually here in this D node of left child you have a null, isn't it? So I have to replace the null with your some other address. Okay, so how I will fill the address means, so I have to take the D node over here. Okay, so from this one I have to see the what is the in order success of your D node. So in order success of your D node is nothing but D. So in the place of null variable, I am going to mark it as a B node address. So this is, we call it as a right thread. Okay, so this is how you have to fill the thread. Similarly, so for this E node, you have a null, right child node you marked as a null. So this has to be replaced with your some other address. Okay, that is a parent node address. So how we are going to take means, so you see here for this E node, what is the in order success of this E node? So in order success of E node is A. So for this E node, in order success is successor is A. So this is how I have to mark it. Okay. Similarly, for this F node, which is your in order success. So for this F node, which is your in order success is C. So I have to mark it as C. Okay. Similarly, for this G node, so for this G node, I don't have any other in order success. Therefore, I have to keep the null as it is. So this is how I have to fill your right child of your one-way threaded binary tree. If I go for your two ways means, then I have to see the in order, that is your both the side, that is your previous one and next one. See here, suppose if I want to fill this B node, okay. So for this B node, what happens means, let us consider this D node, because the D node have the left child and right child, it is marked as a null. It is a leaf node and it is marked as a null. So what I am going to do means, in order successor is for this D node is B. So I'm going to mark it this one. But what happens for your there is a previous node for this one, I don't have anything. So I mark that one as dangling. So I don't have any other thing. So I'm going to mark it as dangling. Similarly, for this, that is your E node. Okay. So for E node, that is a previous one is B and next one is A. So for E node, previous one is B. So I'm going to mark it as a B. Okay. Similarly, for your next node, for E node, next node is A. Isn't it? So I'm going to mark it as A like this. Similarly, for this F, so for this F, previous node is, what is the previous node of F? Previous node of F is A. So like this thread, I have to mark it as a left thread as like this, and right thread, next one is, for this one is C, isn't it? So I have to mark it like this. Students, can you follow? Similarly, for your G node, so for your G node, that is an in order successors. I don't have any in order successor, and pre-order D successor is nothing but your C. So I'm going to mark it as C. So these both two ends I'm going to mark it as a dangling. So how this is the drawback, or this, that is here. It is for this you have a null pointer, but you don't have any other threads. Okay, so it is hanging like something. Okay. So how this problem can be solved means, so this problem can be solved if you have a dangling problem. So simply I'm going to take the that is your root node. What is the root node of this particular binary tree means? A is a root node, isn't it? So I'm going to take the address of this one and I'm going to store it over here. So by doing this one, I can solve the dangling problem. Okay, so suppose if you get a dangling in your binary tree means, so this can be solved by taking the root node address and I'm going to store the address over here. So if you take this one, what happens means, so this is the dangling problem is solved. So this is how you have to do the double-ended threaded binary tree. Okay. So can you follow this one? So threaded binary tree means, normally in your binary tree, in your leaf node, you will have a null pointer. I am going to replace the null pointer by using a thread. We call it as a threaded binary tree. So for this threaded binary tree, I have two types. One is a two-way threaded binary tree. Other one is a one-way threaded binary tree. Other one is your two-way threaded binary tree. One-way threaded binary tree means I'm going to concentrate only on your right side or on your left side. So this type we call it as a one-way threaded binary tree. And two-way threaded binary tree means when you going to replace the null on both the sides. So threaded means we call it as a two-way threaded binary tree. When you do this one, you will get a hanging problem. So hanging problem can be replaced by using the head node address. So this is the explanation of your threaded binary tree. So in order to replace your null as a thread means you have to perform a traversal, okay, and you have to find out the in order successors, and you have to replace the element that is your address, that is a null pointer, with your parent node address. By doing this one, you can form a threaded binary tree. Yes, can you follow this one, ma? Please reply.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes, yes. Any other doubt in this? So threaded binary tree means you are replacing your null pointer using a threads. We call it as a threaded binary tree. Can you follow this one? So how you are going to replacing means using the in order successor. Shall I proceed this one? Shall I proceed? Say yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay, ma'am. So next one, so this is the structure of your threaded binary tree. So normally, if you take any binary tree or binary search tree, you will have only 3 fields, isn't it? So one is your left field, other one is your right field, other one is your data field. So normally you will have only the 3 fields. These 3 fields will be there in your normal data structure, isn't it? So left means it is used to store your left child address, and right means it is used to store your right child address, and data is used to store your value. Okay. So, but if you take your threaded binary tree means they use 2 pointers. Okay, 2 more fields. One is your right thread, other one is your left thread. So L tag, it denotes your left thread, which is used to store your left thread, and right tag is used to store your right thread. Okay, so thread is thread. In order to know that whether you have thread or not, I'm going to store that variable in your boolean. Okay, as a boolean. Boolean means it is a variable which is used to store your value as true or false, isn't it? What is the use of this boolean? Boolean means it contains a value either true or false. It means that I have to say that whether I have on that particular node I have a thread or not. If you have a thread means what I have to do. If I don't have a thread means then what I have to do. So this is the structure of a thread. Okay. So let's see next one. This is the implementation part of your threaded binary tree. So I'm going to explain this how you can perform a traversal in your threaded binary tree. Okay, actually till now we saw only the construction of your threaded binary tree, isn't it? So after doing a construction means you stored your elements in your threaded binary tree data structure. So if I want to traverse, okay, if I want to see that whether the elements are present in your threaded binary tree or not, then we call it as a traversal, isn't it? Let us see how we can perform a traversal. So in your threaded binary tree, I do a in order traversal only, doing some slight modification. So here this is a, let us consider this is an example of your one-way threaded binary tree, and it is a right threaded one-way binary threaded binary tree. Okay, so this is your structure. Okay, structure node. In the structure node, you have a 4 fields. One is a data field. Other one is a 2 pointer fields. One is a which is used to store a left child. Other one is used to store a right child. And this is a variable which is used to store whether you have a thread or not. Okay. If the value happens to be true means then you have a thread. If the value happens to be false means then you don't have thread. Okay. Let us consider this example. Okay. So in this example, what you are going to do means I am going to perform a traversal of your threaded binary tree. Let's see how you can perform a traversal over here. So this happens, that is your, so you know, before entering into traversal, let us see this coding part and this coding part. Okay. So this part, this coding part is used to see till you reach your left that is you are going to perform a left traversal till you reach your that is a null part, okay, because in this is a one way of traversal, that is a right threaded binary tree. So for this, what happens means you have to see your left side. When you reach your left side means you have to see that you stop doing your traversal, okay. It means that you have to do your traverse along your left side. When you reach here, what happens, it happens to be a null, isn't it? When you have a null means then you have to print your this value 1, isn't it? So in order to do this one, I have taken this coding part. So if you have a pointer happens to be null means then you have to do a return. If you don't have a null means then you have to keep on doing your traversal. So n is equal to n of left means it move the pointer from current pointer from towards your next pointer. So when I am here means if I move 2 years towards your next left pointer means then I have to use the code n is equal to n of left. When you do this one, I can move from your current pointer to your next pointer, okay. So this part is used to perform a traversal. So when your current value is not equal, let us assume that you have called this function and I completed this one and I have reached this part, okay. So I have reached this one, okay. When your current value is not equal to means what you have to do, I have to print the 1. So I have printed this one. So after printing this one, what I have to do, if my current of thread, okay, so my current address is this one. Say suppose if it is 5000 means my current value is 5000. If my current value of right thread means in the right thread value contains either true or false, okay. If it is false means I don't have any thread. If it is true means I have a thread, okay. So at present what happens, I have a thread, isn't it? Because right side, see here dotted lines denotes the thread. So what happens here, I have a thread. So if you have a thread means you have to move the pointer to a right side. So I'm going to move the pointer to the right side. What is the value which is present in your right side means this third node address will be pointed over here. So I'm going to move towards the right side. So I'm here. So here what happens, I'm going to, if it is the right side means, so I'm going to do the while loop statement is not equal to null. So I'm going to print the current data. Can you follow this one? So if you have a that is the right side means I'm going to see that whether current node it is not equal to null. If it is not equal to null means I am till the value it is not equal to null, I am going to do this process, okay. So after printing this 1, I am going to print this 3. So now 1 is printed, 3 is printed. Then after this 3, I have to visit the right side, isn't it? So I'm going to go for a, if current value is equal to right thread means I have to go for a right side. So I'm going to visit the right side. So from this right side, what happens again? I have the 5. So I'm going to visit this 5. Next one, after this one, I have a thread. So from this 5, I'm going to see this thread. So 6 is printed. So after this, what happens? Again, I have to see for your right side. So for this right side, see here, I have a left side. I'm not having a null value. If you have a null value only, I'm going to return. If I don't have a null value means I have to traverse this one, okay, till I reach your null value happens to be null. Only when your left child you have a null means then that particular thing time only you can print your that particular child. Otherwise you have to go to your right node, okay. So here what happens, so 8, for when I am here the 8 means what happens means I have a right child. Say suppose if I don't have left child, okay, if I don't have a left child means in that case I can print your 8, okay. But what happens here, I have a left. Can you follow this one? So for always you remember in-order traversal means after completing your left side only, you have to print your root element. So after completing this 7 only, I can print this 8, isn't it? So I'm going to see the 7. Yes, I have a 7. That is a left side. So if it is a termination means, then I can print the 7. So after printing the 7, again I have to go see for a right thread or not. Yes, I have a right thread. So I am going to print this 8. If I have a thread means, then I have to print that thread. So after printing this 8, okay, so now this 8 is printed. Can you tell me after this 8, which element will be printed? Anyone, ma? So after printing this 8, it's okay, now I printed this 8. So after printing this 8 in your threaded binary tree, which element gets printed? Anyone?
9, ma'am.
Yes, 9 gets printed. Very good, ma. So 9 is printed. So after printing 9, which element will be printed?
11, ma'am.
11 gets printed. So after printing 11, I am going to print the 13. So this is how I am going to perform a traversal. See here. So first I traversal this side. Then I entered the 3. Then from this 3, I entered the 5. It goes on like this. Okay. So I'm not doing the backtracking. Okay. So I'm not seeing this one like this. Whether you I have an element on that side, all the elements are printed, something like this. That is, I'm not doing the recursion process. Okay, so I am doing the that is a traveling like this in that is using the threaded. Okay, so what happens means, so this traversal is faster than that of ordinary you are doing your in order traversal. But what is the drawback of this one means, construction of a threaded binary tree occupies more space than that of your binary search tree. Okay, because it occupies your, what happens here, it occupies another thing, isn't it? Another field it takes. So it occupies more space in order to store a single element. Okay, when you compare, when you have a more records means, in that case I go for your normal binary search tree, not your threaded binary tree. If it is a that is your limited amount of data means, and if you want to go for a quick search means, then I prefer a threaded binary tree. So within this, we end our threaded binary session. So I want you people to work this implementation part in your using your online compiler and see whether you're getting this answer. Before that, you have to construct your threaded binary tree. Then you perform a traversal. Okay. Any doubt in this, ma? Any doubt? Can you follow this one? Can you follow threaded binary tree? So if it is okay means, let's, no doubt. What about others? Yes. Okay. So it's a actually very easy topic. Okay. Easily you can please go through this PPT. Okay. Try to do manually in your notebook. Okay. Okay. That's all, ma. Any doubt? So if you don't have any doubt means, let me stop this.